started in Dubai. Don't forget, if you were there, you were there. If you know, you know. Appreciate you guys. Thank you, man.
I shouldn't have fouled him. We talk about it all year, the little things that go into winning games and being disciplined, and it sucks. Obviously, if I had the moment back, I wouldn't have fouled him and just let him make or miss the shot. But yeah, basketball, you win some, you lose some, you make mistakes.
Have you seen the replay?
No, I can't look at it. But they looked at it, and I assume I fouled them if they looked at it and still didn't overturn it.
When you say you can't look at it, what do you mean?
I don't want to look at it.
Do you think that'll be permanent, and you just don't want to look at it ever, or?
I just won't look at it. I fouled them, clearly, because they reviewed it, and I fouled them, so there's no need to look at it.
82 games, seeing these guys in a different context, did you learn anything about them being in these high leverage environments, like games like this?
I mean, we learned a ton about our team. You know, it sucks losing, you know, the last game of the season. And for me personally, coaching this team, I've said all year, has been a total pleasure. And it's really sad for that to finish for me. You know, I love coaching this team. I'd love nothing more than just to go to practice tomorrow with them. They're an absolute pleasure. But what was your question?
Just about what you learned about the roster.
Sorry, I had to get that in there. I think it's painful right now, but if you zoom out and you just look at like year over year progress from the beginning of the season till now, progress from the beginning of the playoffs till now. You know, we're just a more seasoned, more matured, more connected, better, tougher, smarter. You know, we're everything, you know, through the course of the season. We talk a lot about growing through experiences. I thought we did that, you know, to the highest degree. And it yielded, obviously, a very successful season, despite not, you know, having a little more success in winning this series.
Obviously, Shai, it's amazing the way he plays. So big respect to them. So today we're gonna celebrate this, and then tomorrow we're gonna rest. But then we gotta watch the game 7 of that, and just be ready for next games.
You're gonna make me cry, man. Don't do that. I just want to thank each one of you guys, man. All your sacrifices, all the things that you guys are doing when no one's watching, it's truly appreciated, and all the words of affirmation that we're giving each other go a long way, man. So keep the positivity going. The job's not finished, but we can definitely celebrate this one. This was hard. It was tough.
Luka, as you walked over, before you embraced Kyrie, I saw you look to the sky, almost exhausted. What are you feeling? What did you discuss with Kyrie about how you guys closed out this game to advance to the Western Conference Finals?
Insane confidence in this team. It's me and Kai, we started that, but the whole team, amazing comeback, amazing effort. This team's special.
The Dallas Mavericks, they are in the West Finals, and as per recording of this video, we saw both Game 7s of the Knicks and Pacers and Nuggets Wolves happen. I'll be dropping videos talking about that, but in this one, I'll be talking about the Dallas Mavericks versus the OKC Thunder series. So this game ended 117-116, a very clutch game, and PJ Washington was the guy that hit those clutch free throws to secure the 1-point victory for the Dallas Mavericks. So Luka and Kyrie, I mean, this duo has just been sensational, and they've had a very good supporting cast of PJ Washington. Gafford has been there, and that team, I must say, they're that team that I've been looking at. I've not made a lot of videos talking about them, and I must say they're such an inspiration. And you could see, out of all the OGs in the NBA, Kyrie is the only one left, and Kyrie was drafted in 2011 draft, and all the guys that we have seen having some ridiculous performances in these playoffs, Kyrie is the oldest, because majority of them either drafted 2014, 2015, around there. Kyrie was drafted 2011, and Kyrie in closeout games, there was actually a streak that he's on. He's 14-0 on closeout games, and he has not taken a loss in his career because of that one. So the streak is still alive. So PJ Washington, he made 2 free throws before an intentional miss with 2.5 seconds left, as the Dallas Mavericks rallied from a 17-point deficit in the second half to end in 117, 116, and they beat the one-seeded OKC Thunder. And I must say the OKC Thunder, despite even this loss and having a game like this and ending in this fashion, it shouldn't be taken for granted because this is a team that had a very good run. They have Shai, they have Chet Holmgren, and this is legitimately a team that can be a potential dynasty in the future. And looking at what they did this season, I must say, despite the loss, they still are one of the teams in the NBA that have the brightest future, especially with the draft picks and the draft capital that they have. So the Dallas Mavericks, they wrapped up this series in 6.
We don't win this series without Delight. He's been playing amazing. For a rookie, not being scared. It's insane how he played, the way he impacts the game. So just amazing, man.
You know, you guys have been talking about Derek Lively, all season, how impressed you are with him. Has he ever stopped impressing you, especially on a night like tonight?
No, it was amazing. I see here plus 25, 26. In a playoff game, it's insane, man.
Jason, Luka has now been to the Western Conference Finals twice with very different rosters. As you covered and with Brad's question, there's culture and team and a lot that goes into that. But what does it say about Luka, as somebody who, is the face, one of the faces of his generation?
Yeah, it's incredible that he's been there 2 out of the 3 years. Again, his talent's like no other. He's one of the best players in the world. But, sometimes we lose sight that it's not just built or one guy can get you there. You need a team. And, right now he's got a team that he believes in.
6 games, just the same way they did with the Los Angeles Clippers against a top-seeded team in the Thunder. The Thunder finished with the 1 seed. There was a debate that people really wanted to see Shai win that MVP, but Nikola Jokic, he won it. So the Dallas Mavericks, the most interesting thing was the fact that they trailed by 17 early in the third quarter and by 9 early in the fourth. They were able to get back into the game. So Kyrie Irving, he came out and said being down 17 in a closeout game isn't a position you want to be in. He also added, who is now 14-0 in such games in the conference finals. He also came out and said, but that's where we found ourselves. We had to respond the way we've been responding all season.
End of the game, you finish up your ESPN interview, you give your shoes to the fan. I think you got your dart and you're walking off. All the fans are surrounding you, phones out, cheering you on. I'm just curious, how special are those moments to you in your career?
Just that whole walk-off, hugging my family and then going and hugging some more of my family in the locker room, everybody cheering for each other. And I had to make an impromptu speech, and I was doing my best not to let some tears come down from my eyes because it feels like it's been a long time coming, just being back in this position, getting back to the, finals or the conference finals. It's just a long way back, and I look back at parts of my career where I took it for granted, just getting to the conference finals, for 3 years straight, and then not getting back for a little bit, to weigh on you as a competitor. So I'm grateful that I had these guys beside me and kept feeding me confidence and, kept doing the little things for one another. And I think that's what, made the celebration feel that much better.
And again, another play, there's a lot of plays, but for him to pass it, he could easily taken a tough or bad shot, but he trusted that PJ was open. He made the right play and ended up with the free throws. Luka could have easily done his step back and shot over the 2 guys, make or miss. We would have said that's a good shot. But again, just what he's going through physically, he's given everything. I don't think we took him out in the second half, and nor did he complain. But he's playing the game the right way, and he's playing at a high level.
And that is something that I found very profound because Kyrie, the last time we've seen him in the finals was when he was in Cleveland. And ever since he left Cleveland, he has never been able to make conference finals. The most we have seen him is make the second round when he was with the Boston Celtics. In the first go-around, the Boston Celtics made the West Finals. Not the West. He made the East Finals, and you could see that time he was not in the squad because of an ankle injury he sustained in the 2017-2018 season. In the 2019 season, he was not able to get that Boston Celtics team to the East Finals. I couldn't make it past the Bucks. And you could see what happened in Brooklyn, second round exit, and he got injured. And he also got swept. So yeah, he's seeing Kyrie back there. It just gives me flashbacks of what we saw when he was in those Cavs teams that were making the finals. So PJ Washington was fouled by Shai on a 3-point attempt after Chet Holmgren put the Thunder in front 116-115 with a dunk on an assist from his star guard with 20 seconds remaining. So Luka Doncic, who had 29 points and 10 rebounds and 10 assists for his fourth triple-double in the postseason, worked his way to the basket in the final seconds before passing it to Washington in the corner. Washington, he pump-faked Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He bit on it, and you could just hear the whistle. And that's just about it. And the OKC Thunder, they challenged the call, but replay showed Shai Gilgeous-Alexander making contact with Washington's arm as he went up to shoot. So you could see in the heat of the moment, even with OKC challenging that with the coach's challenge, couldn't be able to overturn that. So Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he said, obviously, if I had the moment back, I wouldn't have fouled him. He actually said that, and he also added, I would have just let him miss the shot. You wish you would take that moment back, but just have to learn from it, and I will. So you could see Shai Gilgeous-Alexander just looking back at it, and he also said that in a post-game. After making the first two free throws to put Dallas in front, PJ Washington missed on purpose with the Thunder out of timeouts after the challenge. Holmgren passed to Jalen Williams, and with the desperation shot, he heaved it and he couldn't get it in. So if it was a clear as day foul, I obviously would have challenged it and held the timeout. So you can see OKC Thunder Mark, he came out and said that, and he also added, even if you advance the ball with 2.5 seconds at a deficit, your chances are very low. So you could see there was a lot of reflection there, but still, the OKC Thunder, I must say, this is the farthest they're gonna go. I knew even with the sweep on the New Orleans Pelicans, they were bound to meet either the Dallas Mavericks or Clippers, and I just knew they were a second round exit at best. So I didn't bank on the fact that they would get to even the conference finals because they only had one star and their team is just full of young guys and you need experience. And I know a lot of people had high hopes for this OKC team, but I did not see a situation where the Dallas Mavericks were going to drop a series to the OKC Thunder. There was no way. Having Luka and Kyrie there and also that supporting cast in that Dallas Mavericks roster, I don't think that they would have dropped it anyway. So you look at the whole season. You look at even the playoff games that they had, because all through even through this series, you can see the Thunder, they took game one, and I must say it was a shocker to me because I was expecting Luka and Kyrie to just go ahead and just go at them. But you can see the Thunder, they had fresh legs because coming out of that sweep, they had a few days to just relax and they're just having fresh legs. We can see the Dallas Mavericks and the Los Angeles Clippers, that series went to 6 games. And the Mavericks at that time, I just knew they would look a bit wobbly in game one, and they did. So that game ended 117-95. Then in game two, the Mavericks just equalized it and they won that game 119-110. Then they went ahead and won the next game in game three, 101-105. The Dallas Mavericks 105. Then just to even out the series, you can see the Thunder also fall back. This is a game that I was expecting the Thunder to go ahead and just play their best basketball. This game was clutch. It was only decided by 4 points. And I was expecting to see the the Dallas Mavericks at least go up 3-1, but that wasn't the case because the series got tied. But in Game 5 and Game 6, potentially this could have all played out in 7 games had the OKC Thunder done some different things in Game 5. I wouldn't have held my breath to say that even the Dallas Mavericks would have even gone to Game 7. But the Mavericks, they just had some luck, because when you've been watching the NBA playoffs for quite some time now, you'll come to understand that it's not always the best team that wins, but you just have very good execution, strategy, and not only that, the one ingredient that helps these teams get past those situations where they are very close and just need a win, it's some luck at the end of the day, because you can have the best team, you can have the best all around the board, the roster is good, but if you don't have a bit of luck on your side, let's say for example your team just goes out there and just shoots the lights out, and you have all the players working on all cylinders, so that's some luck on your side, because there are teams that are good. Let's take the case of the Denver Nuggets. They're a good team. One game can even throw you off. You can look at even the Milwaukee Bucks in last year's postseason. They got beat in 5 games, and they got beat in embarrassing fashion despite being the best team with the best record, and they got upset. So the thing is, have to have some luck, and you can see the luck was just on the Dallas Mavericks side. OKC Thunder, it's so heartbreaking to lose by 1 point. Potentially they will have pushed this thing to 7 games, but that was not going to be the case. But all in all, this was a very interesting one. I was a bit quiet because I just wanted to observe what that Kyrie tandem would look like, and I must say this experiment looked quite promising, because when I saw that trade from the Brooklyn to Dallas trade, where Kyrie was sent to Dallas, there was a lot of questions and a lot of speculation on how would Luka and Kyrie mesh, because these are 2 ball-dominant guards and they need the ball on their hand to be effective. And there was a certain game that I watched. It was late in the game. You had one person who was supposed to bring the ball up court and take the last shot. So it was between Luka and Kyrie. So both players were passing the ball to each other to see who's going to take the last shot. And this one sparked a lot of debate. Like, who's going to be the closer? Who's going to be that person who's going to take the ball and just go ahead and score? So a lot of people were very skeptical of this duo, and looking forward and just looking at how these guys played in the regular season, you might not have picked a lot with Luka and Kyrie, but given the experience that both players have, and considering the fact that this is the second time Luka is appearing in the Western Conference Finals, Kyrie has gone to the Eastern Conference Finals for 3 years, and he won 1 championship. So this is a player that knows what they're supposed to do there and how to conduct yourself, and the experience that those guys had on their belt, especially a guy like Luka Doncic with that Dallas team, and looking at Kyrie with his experience from the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Boston Celtics, the Brooklyn Nets. They were bound to find a way to be able to go ahead and be effective and win the game. So I was so excited to see how this duo looked in that Clippers series, because the Clippers had their big 4, but Kawhi Leonard, he didn't look okay. Paul George, still not a guy that you can consistently rely on. He's not. You can even say Paul George is not even good as good as Jimmy Butler in terms of taking a team and leading a team to the finals. Russell Westbrook is off the bench role player, and James Harden just pulled off a disappearing act. So Luka and Kyrie, that tandem just went past them. OKC, they're a young team, no much experience, and this was the farthest they could go, just like I said earlier. And I'm very excited to see how this group these OKC Thunder are going to look in the next coming years, because this is so, it is so inspiring, because a lot of teams are now picking up with the fact that you don't have to go all in for superstars. You can go ahead and create superstars. And that's one lesson that we learned from the Phoenix Suns. They went all in for a big three, and they were not able to go ahead and get the job done. But I'm so excited for the Dallas Mavericks. I will be monitoring the Dallas Mavericks versus the Minnesota Timberwolves series, because that is another one that can possibly play out all 7 games. And also down east, we're going to look at the Boston Celtics and the Indiana Pacers. So in the next couple of videos, I'll talk about the Wolves and Nuggets series, which I must say I watched live and I was just utterly shocked. And also the Knicks and Pacers. I must say Stephen A. Smith is on life support right now. And you're seeing a new era of basketball where super teams are dead and players are just honing in and creating their own stars and creating and charting their own paths. So very inspiring from Kyrie. I saw from a post-game presser that he had when he was just talking, and it was just it was such a wholesome moment, because if you look at what Kyrie has gone through throughout the years, injury upon injuries, especially with that 2015 finals where he got injured in the knee injury. If you look at 2016, coming back down 3-1. 2017 made the finals, got beat by Golden State, who had KD at the time, and he got traded to the Celtics. In his first year as a Celtic, he looked so good, and there was a high likelihood that they were a championship or bust team. And given the fact that he tweaked his ankle and he got sidelined due to an ankle injury, sidelined him he couldn't even play the remainder of the regular season and the playoffs. And you could see the headless Boston team just went ahead. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown did their thing, made the East Finals, but got beat by the Cavs. 2019, he got stomped on by the Milwaukee Bucks. Then in 2020, you could see he made that move to Brooklyn, had that shoulder injury, sat out for the whole season together with KD, came back 2020, 2021, got injured in the second round, and it was just a roller coaster. Especially at that time, they had a big three of KD, Harden, and himself, Kyrie was there. But they were not able to get the job done there because of injuries. And in the 2022 postseason, KD and Kyrie got swept. That duo got swept in the first round by the Celtics. And it was so difficult. It was so tumultuous, especially with the whole scandal of the anti-Semitic post that he made and promoting that documentary. So this man has had a very huge roller coaster. I can just go and just give you highlights of what happened, but seeing Kyrie succeed, especially getting dropped from Nike canceling him in that shoe deal, he got another shoe deal, he got a brand new contract from the Dallas Mavericks. At that point, all these things were happening in his contract here, but he remained focused. Even when he got traded to the Mavs didn't even make last year's playoffs. So Kyrie was just sat out and just watching the playoffs from the sidelines. But at the beginning of the season, there was that vision, that goal, that the duo of Kyrie and Luka, they will have a possibility of making it work in the playoffs. And right now, they have made their second West Finals berth, and there's a high likelihood that they can make the finals if they're able to continue playing basketball like that. And also the Minnesota Timberwolves, being led by the high-flying Michael Jordan's son, Anthony Edwards. This man has just been sensational. There's a high likelihood that this series can go even all 7 games and just play out all 7 games, and all the games are just going to be close. Man, that's just my reaction. I'll be dropping a video talking about the Nuggets and Wolves, and also I'll talk about the Knicks and Pacers series, which I must say they were quite interesting, and my predictions somewhat came to pass. So if you guys like the video, make sure you leave your feedback down in the comments on what you think about this. Talk to you guys in the next one. Peace out.
Alexander at 36 in the defeat. And for the second time in Luka's 6-year career, he'll go to the Western Finals. Derek Lively, tremendous.